This video contains a comprehensive list of essential business terms, along with clear definitions and examples for everyone who has little knowledge about business. 1. General business terms. Business. An organization that sells goods or services to make a profit. A coffee shop selling drinks and snacks is a business. Entrepreneur. A person who starts and manages a new business, often taking financial risks. Elon Musk is an entrepreneur who founded Tesla and SpaceX. Startup. A new business in its early stages, typically focused on innovation or growth. A mobile app that helps users track habits is a startup. Revenue. The total income generated by the sale of goods or services. If a bakery sells $5,000 worth of cakes in a month, that's its revenue. Profit. The money left after deducting expenses from revenue. If a business earns $10,000 in sales and has $6,000 in costs, profit equals $4,000. Loss. When business expenses exceed revenue. If a shop earns $1,000 but spends $1,200, it incurs a $200 loss. 2. Finance and accounting terms. Assets. Resources owned by a business, cash, property, inventory. A company car and office computers are assets. Liabilities. Debts or obligations a business must pay. Loans or unpaid bills are liabilities. Equity. The owner's share in the company after liabilities are subtracted from assets. If assets equals $100,000 and liabilities equals $40,000, equity equals $60,000. Cash flow. The movement of money in and out of a business. Positive cash flow means more money is coming in than going out. Break-even point. The point where total revenue equals total costs. A company needs to sell units to cover its costs and break even. Budget. A financial plan for future income and expenses. For example, a business sets a monthly budget of $3,000 for marketing. 3. Marketing terms. Target market. A specific group of customers a business aims to serve. Example, a toy company targets children aged 3 to 8. Brand. A business's identity, including name, logo, and reputation. Nike is known for its athletic brand and Just Do It slogan. Market research. Gathering data about consumer needs and preferences. Surveys and focus groups are used to conduct market research. Advertising. Promoting products or services to attract customers. A billboard promoting a new phone model is advertising. SEO, search engine optimization. Improving website visibility on search engines. Using keywords like Best Laptops 2025 helps with SEO. 4. Management terms. Leadership. The ability to guide and influence others. A CEO sets the company vision and motivates employees. Delegation. Assigning tasks to others. A manager delegates report writing to a junior team member. KPI, key performance indicator. A measurable value that shows how effectively goals are being achieved. Monthly sales targets are common KPIs. SWOT analysis. A tool to identify strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. SWOT is used to evaluate a business before launching a new product. Decision making. Choosing between alternatives to reach a goal. Deciding whether to expand to a new city involves decision making. 5. Sales and customer service terms. Lead. A potential customer interested in a product or service. For example, someone who fills out a form on a website is a lead. Conversion. Turning a lead into a paying customer. A user who signs up for a free trial then subscribes is a conversion. Upselling. Encouraging a customer to buy a more expensive product or add-ons. Suggesting a larger pizza size for a few extra dollars is upselling. CRM, customer relationship management. Software or strategies to manage customer interactions. For example, Salesforce is a popular CRM system. 6. Legal and organizational terms. LLC, limited liability company. A business structure that protects owners from personal liability. A small business registered as an LLC protects the owner's assets. Corporation. A legal entity separate from its owners. Apple Incorporated is a corporation. Patent. A legal right to exclusively use an invention. A tech company patents its new software. Copyright. Protection for original works like books, music, and designs. A novel is protected by copyright law. Contract. A legally binding agreement between two or more parties. An employment agreement is a contract. 7. E-commerce and technology terms. E-commerce. Buying and selling goods/services online. Amazon is a leading e-commerce platform. Dropshipping. Selling products without keeping them in stock. A store sells t-shirts but the supplier ships them directly to customers. B2B, business to business. Transactions between businesses. A wholesaler selling to a retailer is B2B. B2C, business to consumer. Transactions between a business and individual customer. A clothing brand selling directly to shoppers is B2C. SaaS, software as a service. Software accessed online via subscription. Google Workspace and Zoom are SaaS products. 8. Core international business terms. Globalization. The process by which businesses develop international influence or start operating on a global scale. Coca-Cola operates in over 200 countries due to globalization. Export. Selling goods or services produced in one country to another country. Germany exports cars to the United States. Import. Buying goods or services from another country. The US imports electronics from Japan. Trade balance. The difference between a country's exports and imports. If exports exceed imports, there's a trade surplus. If imports exceed exports, there's a trade deficit. Foreign direct investment, FDI. Investment made by a company or individual in one country in business interests in another. Example, Toyota building a manufacturing plant in India. Multinational corporation, MNC. A company that operates in more than one country. Apple Incorporated designs in the US, manufactures in China, and sells globally. Tariff. A tax on imported goods to protect domestic industries or raise revenue. Example, the US imposed tariffs on steel imports from China. Quota. A limit on the quantity of a good that can be imported or exported. The EU may set a quota on textile imports from Asia. 9. Financial and legal terms. Exchange rate. The value of one currency in relation to another. $1 equals 90 cents. Currency risk. The risk of losing money due to changes in exchange rates. For example, a US firm doing business in Brazil may lose profit if the real devalues. Trade agreement. A treaty between two or more countries to facilitate trade. Example, NAFTA, now USMCA, reduces trade barriers between the US, Canada, and Mexico. Intellectual property rights, IPR. Legal rights to inventions, designs, and brands. Nike protects its swoosh logo through trademark law. Customs duties. Taxes imposed on goods when transported across international borders. For example, importing perfume into the EU may incur customs duties. 10. Market and strategy terms. Emerging market. A developing country becoming more engaged in global markets. Example, India is considered an emerging market. Joint venture. A business entity created by two or more parties to undertake economic activity together. Sony and Ericsson formed Sony Ericsson. Licensing. Permitting another firm to use your intellectual property. Disney licenses its characters for international merchandise. Franchising. A method of expanding a business where a franchisee operates under the franchisor's brand. McDonald's uses franchising globally. Global strategy. A strategy that treats the world as a single market. Coca-Cola markets the same product globally. Localization. Adapting a product or content to a specific region. Example: KFC changes its menu for Chinese tastes. 11. Regulatory and risk terms. Non-tariff barrier. Regulatory barriers like safety standards, quotas, or licenses that restrict trade. EU food labeling laws may act as a non-tariff barrier. Political risk. Risk of loss due to political instability or government action. Example: a coup in a country where a company operates may affect its operations. Cultural differences. Variations in customs, traditions, and communication styles across cultures. For example, negotiating style in Japan is more indirect compared to the US. We hope this video is useful for you. Thank you for watching.